The memory of that night is burned into my mind. The way my stepsister's hands trembled as they gripped mine, her wide, desperate eyes searching my face as if trying to decide whether she could truly trust me. Her voice was barely a whisper, barely cutting through the rain that drummed steadily against the window. "Promise me you'll keep this secret." A lump formed in my throat. I had never seen her like this before. She was always the strong one, the one who kept everything together when life got rough. But now she looked broken, shattered by something unseen. My heart pounded as I nodded, the words leaving my mouth heavier than I had ever known them to be. "I promise." The air in the room seemed to shift, thickening with something unspoken. She glanced at the closed door, her fingers tightening around my wrist. "You can't tell anyone," she insisted, her voice sharper now. "Not Mom, not Dad, no one." A chill ran down my spine. What could be so big that she had to beg me like this? Was she in trouble? Had she done something? Or worse, was someone hurting her? My mind raced through every terrible possibility, each one more frightening than the last. "I need you to trust me," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Please." And then, just as I opened my mouth to ask what was wrong, a noise, a soft creak. We weren't alone. My stepsister's face drained of color, my stomach twisted into knots. Someone was there, someone was listening. She squeezed my hand, her fingers like ice against my skin. We held our breath, the silence stretching out between us. Had they been there the whole time? Had they heard everything? Slowly, I turned my head toward the door, my pulse thundering in my ears. The door was shut, but now it felt like a flimsy barrier between us and whoever was on the other side. My stepsister sat frozen, her lips pressed together, as if even breathing would give us away. Then came the sound of footsteps, slow, fading. Whoever it was, they were walking away. I turned back to her, expecting relief, but her face remained pale, her gaze locked on the door. "They know," she whispered, almost to herself. I swallowed hard. "Who?" She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she lowered herself onto the edge of the bed, running a shaky hand through her hair. "It doesn't matter." But the way her voice wavered told me it did. "You need to promise me again," she said. "No matter what happens, you can't tell anyone." I wanted to argue. I wanted to demand answers. But the fear in her eyes stopped me. Whatever this was, it had her terrified, and that scared me more than anything else. "I promise," I whispered again. For a moment, she sat still, staring at her hands as if trying to gather the courage to speak. But before she could, a sharp knock rattled the door, not loud, but firm, deliberate. We both jumped, our eyes locked. My stepsister's breath hitched, her fingers clutching the fabric of her sweater. A voice followed, low, calm, but laced with something cold. "I know you're in there." Her face lost all color. She shook her head quickly, her eyes wide with silent panic. I could barely breathe. Whoever was on the other side of that door wasn't just knocking out of curiosity. They knew something. They wanted something. Another knock, slower this time, almost mocking. "You can't hide forever." A chill ran down my spine. I turned to my stepsister, waiting for her to say something, to explain. But she just sat there, frozen, like she had already decided that it was too late to stop whatever was coming. I swallowed hard. Should I open the door? Pretend everything was fine? But the way she was acting told me that wasn't an option. Then, just as I was about to whisper to her, the footsteps started again. Slow, fading. The person was leaving. My stepsister exhaled, but her relief was short-lived. The walls of the room felt like they were closing in. I couldn't take it anymore. "Who was that?" I demanded, my voice barely above a whisper. She hesitated, then finally whispered, "Someone I never wanted to see again." That wasn't enough. "Why are they here?" She ran a trembling hand through her hair. "Because they know," she murmured. "And if they know, it means we're in danger." My stomach twisted. I still didn't understand. What secret was so big that it could put us in danger? Before I could ask, she stood up suddenly. "We have to go." "Go where?" She grabbed my hand, pulling me toward the window. "Somewhere they won't find us." My heart pounded as she unlatched the window, letting the cold night air rush in. The wind howled outside, but it was nothing compared to the storm raging inside me. Something told me that whatever this secret was, it was only the beginning.